This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. Today's guest is Siegfried. Hello, Siegfried. How are you today?
Hello, Christa. I'm so good, and it's good to be back on the radio, and it's good to hear you.
I'm happy to be back with you. And maybe you remember in the last interview, we talked about Lisa, the method I created and invented many, many years ago. I think about 15 years, but I cannot date it to an exact point of time. And Lisa was my support and my help to work with my clients and to work with myself. You remember our big time on the boat?
Yes, I remember. You and I took a boat trip on the Elbe in Berlin, and we talked about Lisa. And after a few minutes, I said to you, "Oh, it's like the AIDA formula. You know the AIDA formula?"
Yes,
and yes,
I do.
You say, "Yes, you do. I do." It's your answer. So I think the Lisa has to be the same like the AIDA for the marketing and for the sales profits, like me for the personal development. And you can remember, I know. And we talk about the reason why after this short sentence.
Yes, that was a very interesting day. When you said that, I never thought about that, and I said, okay, it's pretty simple, and everybody can use it. Lisa, listen, identify, solve, act, go.
Yes,
and then you
go.
said, no, it's not that easy, but it's easy.
You know, I have more than 20 years experience in sales and marketing. And I know everyone who works in sales or marketing has to use the AIDA formula every day. If he do marketing, he go to the customer, he tell about the products, because this is like similar, the same. You have AIDA, you have to attract people. It's like the same like to the listen. You can attract people if you tell them how it works and why they have to buy this. It's similar the same. I have to listen, I have to understand, I have to hear what they want, and I have to listen what I want. This is like the L in Lisa, A from AIDA. And the next letter is I, interest. Without interest, you can do nothing if you have not the right words in your first part in your pitch or in your sales conversation, and you have no attention from the customer. You can tell what you want. You lose in the first second the business.
Yes, I see. I see the parallels of the picture you are drawing. So you stopped with the I, and the D is what?
Desire. If you have to attract the customer, you have inspire him. You have inspire him, and he has interest to buy something, and maybe he has to know more. He needs more information. So, and if he has all the information he needs to make a decision, so he can decide what he, yes or no, buy or not buy. And so it's similar as solution in Lisa.
Yeah, okay. So let's draw to the last letter in AIDA.
A, action. Action is what we need every day. I'm a salesperson with a lot of experience. I had a lot of customers, and I do something with my customers. I help them, and so they can act and order what they need. And so if I know how it works and have the 4 steps and work from A, I, D, A, I work through the process during my sales pitch, sales conversation, my presentation, my sales presentation. So I think it works. And first yes. I have to listen.
Okay, so we have a starter now, AIDA versus Lisa. And I am Christa Nehls, and we will be right back after this commercial break. You are listening to the TellUS radio show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I am your host, Christa Nehls. Today's guest is Siegfried. We started with a comparison of the AIDA method and the LISA method. Siegfried, thank you for explaining to us and give us a reminder what AIDA is standing for. Now, let's try it with LISA. L, like listen. I, like identification of an issue that's important to maybe solve. S is solving it, the solution. And when I found a solution, I find a way to act.
I think the first part, listen, is the part I have to use the most time, because listen is not so easy, so I have to learn. I know, as we talked the first time about Lisa and you explain it to me, so I've tried to understand how it works, and so I know the listen is the part I maybe need 80% of the time. Is it right?
This is perfectly correct. L like listen. Listen to the person opposite to you. Listen to that person means listen with all your senses. And that means look with your eyes and look through the eyes of the person that's sitting next to you. Hearing what the person is saying, hearing the tone, if it's flat, if there is a lot of modulation in it, if there is excitement or whatever, and hearing through the ears. And now I say the client, hearing through the ears of the client. And the most important is feeling with the heart of the client. And as a coach, it's very important that you do not lose yourself when you look through the eyes of the client and hear with his eyes and feel with his heart. It might happen that you're so overwhelmed by all these impressions that you see, hear, and feel that you get lost. And as a coach, you never are allowed to get lost. So half of you is allowed to be with the client, and the other half has to be, well, a kind of controlling what's coming in, what you're watching, putting all the pieces together and understanding. And that means when you are looking at the client and listening to the client, you are checking what are the gestures, how's the client moving? Is he sitting? Is he still? Is he almost crouching? What's happening there? And feeling if the words and the body language is congruent. And this is the most important part. You are right. It's far more than 50%. It varies from client to client, but it happens sometimes that it's 90% listening with all your senses.
Chris, can you remember a few days ago, 8 days ago, we talked with a good friend of us about listening. The person say, we are not born to listen, because if we start to listen, we start to hear maybe on the wrong way. I remember in my education as a nurse, we have a 4-ear model to hear something. And this is what happened every day. With which ear I heard what the person next to me said. But listen it's not only to listen to another people, to the next one, to me. Listen, I had to learn to hear what is in my heart, what is in my brain, what I'm thinking, and to understand what's happened in this moment. And I remember I do a lot of mistakes, and I have learned. I know what I have done, and I'm doing nothing else like this in the next time. I know it, but it was a long process to learn, to understand, and to bring it into my life, to change my life through listening to myself, through self-love, self-esteem, to understand what I need. So you said it in the first, Lisa is a self-coaching method and a coaching method.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. And when you coach yourself, most people have forgotten that they have their own needs. For example, mothers forget themselves. Everybody around, everything around is more important than they are. They look for their children, for the partner, for their parents, for the pets, for the garden, for the house, for the rest of the family, for the neighbors, for the job, whatever. And if there are 8 seconds left during the day, they are overwhelmed and they are not able to listen to themselves. And this is a hard thing to understand, that moms have such a hard job. And in the meantime, I learned again, there are dads who are doing the same because roles are changing. They experience the same. And I encourage them all the time, please expand these 8 seconds. Use 10 minutes, quarter of an hour every day and listen to yourself, because you have to find out what's good for you. If you do not know what's good for you, you never will know what's good for the others. And this is a thing we forget every day. It starts with ourselves and then it goes to the others. So
it starts with ourselves, it starts with myself. So I remember all the time, all the students in front of me, I remember what they say, and maybe if they say a wrong word, what they do, say excuses themselves. I hope this was the right sentence and the right word. So this every person say, I apologize, and I say, why? It's not a problem. You don't have to do this. You cannot know the right version. You have to learn. This is the reason why you are here. And this is similar, the same. If I cannot listen to myself and understand what's happened. I cannot listen to another person. And so you say more than 50%. Okay, it's different. It depends to the person in front of me or to myself. It depends on my past, what I have learned in my past about my childhood and so on. So maybe what we have to do as a coach, we have to help something to understand themselves, to understand what they want to do, and why they do this, what they do. And so maybe listen with a 4-ear model is a man and woman, children, and maybe another religion and politician, and this is all the same. We start, if we are tried to listening, we failed if we want to do it, because we are not open to listen with the heart, we are not open to listen with the mind. And the next, I say to everyone, if what you have to do is to stand in the shoes of the other person, to look through his eyes, to think what he is thinking about what you are doing in this moment. And this is what a kind of listening is, to understand what they feel in this moment. I'm right?
You're perfectly right. I want to pick up a thought you had in the beginning when you said, a good friend of us said, we do not listen anymore today. And look at meetings in a company or in a charity or wherever. When you look in the meeting, you see people are listening, but when you have to talk about that, you can say they pretend listening because they are just waiting to find a point where they can rush in and put in their own opinion and their meaning and say and produce themselves, show themselves and say, I am here, I have to say something too. And they forget that there was someone who was talking and who had something important to tell. And so there is another point where we have to learn. We have to learn to listen without thinking that I have to find the break or the pause when the person is breathing and rush in. Listen means listen without any pretension, without any idea, with any intention to stop that person and to get across that person. And this is, I think, for me, this is the most important part for our society when we talk about communication. And communication, well, this is the next part after listening.
I know the next thing is, if a person, or maybe I understand you or you understand me, nothing else, the next person to us, we are scared, we are really scared to ask what do you mean by that. I think this is the best sentence. I have heard it from a network profi from the States. He say, if I don't understand the person on the phone, in front of me in the presentation, this is a question. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? This is the best sentence to ask. What is the real? What do you want? What do you want to say to me? What do you want from me? And.
Yes, you're right. And I think the next part will be the I, which is the identification. And we will come to that very, very soon after we had a short commercial interrupt. I am Christa Nehls, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. You are listening to the TellUS radio show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. Welcome back, Siegfried. Before the break, we talked about the L in Lisa and about listening with all senses and about listening honestly and sincerely and letting the other talk and getting what the other was talking about. And now it's time to change to the second letter, which is the I, the identification of the issue. What ideas do you have about that?
I think if you have listened, I talk about myself. I talk about the self-coaching program with the Lisa method. If I know what is the basic needed things for my life, I remember I start changing my life after I wrote my self-coaching program about self-love, self-esteem. This was really the things I need, and I have heard it, I have learned it through the listening process. I have learned it with your help and with your coaching and mentoring, and so I create this program, and I know through this program everything changed. Everything changed in my life, and it works today, and it's growing up. So I identify the topic, the things what I really need. I think we learn listening. If I can listen and hear what I say, what the person next to me say, through the coaching process, so I can identify the topic, what topic I have to start to go forward. If I don't know the basic needed things, I cannot stop. I can do everything. I be successful. I'm succeeded, but it goes back to zero or underground. On the level underground, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I listen. I learn what I have to do first, and I start. I listen. I identify and work to go to the next process to identify the next steps. First step, listen. Next step, identify and learn what is the next step.
You said you understood so much just identifying the problem that was your self-love. What was one of your first steps?
My first steps, I create the program. I write sentences. I write the book. I write an ebook about self-communication, about how to talk with to self-communication, to talk with me, to talk with a part of me, with my brain, with my heart, and to identify the Ursache, the ground,
reason. Yeah,
the reason why I'm stand in this time where I stand now. So, and I write affirmations and start to prepare myself to work through the process to go forward.
Okay, and you see the identification of an issue and the solution, they go hand in hand. You cannot really separate them. And you understand that the results from the listening are in the identification and the solving too. It's a continuous process where it's moving into each other without real borders and real limits. And I remember when you started your program of self-love and you did it by yourself, I remember that you had an alarm clock. Sometimes I was angry because it was every day at 7:50 p.m. What was that good for?
I need a time to do my practice.
Practice?
So practice what I have decided to do, my affirmations. To work to be quiet, to maybe go back to the part of to listen and hear and to go to the next step. And all the 4 parts from Lisa are not, you cannot separate it. It works hand in hand. It's like this AIDA formula for marketing. It works hand in hand. If you have the topic and you have identify what you have to do, you have to listen. Okay, what is the reason why? And the next step, identify and go forward to understand the next step. So this time I need 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It was not only the alarm clock for me. This program is not a program for a self-coaching. It is like a self-coaching, but I need a person next to me with the same theme, with the same maybe problem and the same, so we can do it together. We can talk about and can help us to grow and help us to do our lessons. We need this time, we need this plan. So if we forget it, we have to go back to the first day, and we lose every day we have done.
There's a picture coming to my mind, because what you explained now is the action too. So we are already at the 4th step, on the 4th letter. And there's a picture coming to my mind, like you're standing on a hill, not a high one, and there is a stone that's loosening and that's starting to roll. And it's like a rolling stone. When the stone is rolling, it doesn't stop, except there is someone who's catching it. But when the stone is rolling, it's going on and on and on and on. And I think that's what's happening when you listen, either to yourself or to a client. When you identify the issue, what all is about, and you break it down to a small part, because it's not good to have all the things done at once. It's better to find out if there is one central small point and start from that and go ahead. And from that you can find a solution and think, how can I do that? You had your affirmations, you had your alarm clock set to a special time so that you could have a look in the mirror. Am I there? Am I present? And that was your action.
This was my action, yes. And I know, I remember. I remember me and the person who has done the same seminars, the same process with me through this 50-day process. We talk every day, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, and we talk about what's happened. And I remember one day we talk about obstacles. I think is yes.
Obstacles, yes.
Obstacles, yes. And so we talk about insurmountable obstacle. So we are standing in front of a wall, and it's not easy to go over and to go around. And we stand in front, and there's no way on the right side, on the left side, or through the wall. So we talk about, and we decided to go back to listen and to hear what is the reason why this wall is in front of us. And these are a lot of obstacles in front, small one, big ones, and we can go through. We don't stop, go forward. This is what we learned through this process.
Wow, that was a great lesson then, I think, because the main lesson you have in the individual psychology is where the fear is, there is the way, and you have to go it. And finally, this means too, where the change is looking at the end of the way or at the horizon, there is the way and there is the fear where you have to go through to reach a new goal, to reach the things you like to experience, you like to live.
Yes. You remember my motto? The sun is always shining in my head.
Yes.
I think I can change it. The sun is always shines in my heart, because this is what I feel in this time. The sun is always shining in my heart, because the heart is filled with high energy, and this is what the person feel next to me. And this every person say you are every day so good, in a good condition, and you are smiling and you are laughing and so on and so on and so on. This is the reason why I have already done my process through Lisa. Listen, identify. And I know this is a process. It's like every day you have to do it every 4 parts at the same time. First time, listen. Why listen? If you listen, you shut up, you quiet, you don't talk. You close your mouth and only listen. And don't work with your brain. And okay, it's not so easy to I don't know the right word in the moment to if I don't want to think something, we're thinking every time our brain is working and working and working and working. We have to learn to stop this process. This is
free your mind or empty your mind.
Yes,
finally.
Free your mind. Oh, thank you. Free your mind. Yes, I have to free my mind and listen. And this is the next step. Identify every part in the same time. What I do, I can use the Lisa method, and this is what I love, and why I use the Lisa method for my coaching, for myself, and for everything we do.
Thank you. This is a great honor for me to hear from someone who has gone through the method in reality and practice it. Thank you very much. It's a great thing to hear and to experience. And I think we will talk later a little bit more about what action and maybe solution does mean for other things. I am Christa Nehls, and we will be right back after this commercial break. You are listening to the TellUS radio show on the X Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world. There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the 4 corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I am your host, Christa Nehls. I am back with my today's guest, Siegfried. We have been talking about the LISA method and found out that LISA is a continuous process. There are no real borders between every letter we are talking about: the L, listen, I, identification, S, solution, and A, like action. I promised that we will have a closer look at the solution and the action. The solution means, in the case of a coach, that you use the tools that are on hand, that you know that you find good and adequate for the situation of your client. Maybe you are your own client, and then you have to find out what's the best method to go ahead. Siegfried, your method was finding the self-love and using special tools like affirmations, like talking with a friend, like going through that process with a friend.
Yes, this was the best way to talk every day with a friend, with a good friend, she does it the same, and we talk about the solution, we talk about the way, we talk about the fear we had through the process. And what I know, it's so easy to use the Lisa method every day. And this is what I know. Every person say how it works. What? So easy? It cannot work. It works. Why it works? Because really it is easy, and it works through the repetition. Every day I go back, and this was the solution. I repeat. I have sentences. I have affirmations. I create my own affirmations. Everyone has to create his own affirmations. Sentence who help me to understand, to feel me better, to help me to go through the process, and to repeat the sentences, or go to a coach and let me help to go through the process if I cannot do it for me alone. Not everybody can go through a process like this without a coach or a mentor. We need a person. This is the reason why I create this workshop, and the thing after the workshop, and they go home, say everyone need a buddy, a person to talk every day, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, but only talk, and talk about what's happened this day. We need this. If I do it alone, it works, but it is not so easy. And if I have a person next to me who does the same process and the same solution, he can help me to understand how it works. He can help me and say, "Oh, try this or try this," with a picture, to paint pictures, to write it on a book in a book, and to write maybe a story, to write your biography, to write what you are thinking. Everything what I want to do, it helps, but it helps me to understand and go forward. This is a reason why it's
sharing. Yes. Excuse me. You are sharing your experiences, and while sharing your experience, you grow even faster, the both of you that are working together. Was it that what you wanted to say? Yes. Okay, I see. As a coach, it's important when you go through the method with the client. You don't tell the client we are in L, we are in I, we are in S, we are in A. You walk through this, and during the process, there is a point where the client has to start to act. And when he does not, you have to work like Monopoly. Go back to zero, go back to the start. Don't take $4,000. Start all over. Find out what happened, that the client is not able to act. And as a coach, you always have to explain to your client, hey, I am there for you. I'm your body. I accompany you. I'm not your intimate friend. I'm not your best friend, but I'm with you. Whenever you stumble, whenever you feel that you're losing track, here is my arm. You can hold on it. I am there. And sometimes there's the time when you can walk on your own, not alone, on your own. And you know what to do, and you know your way, and you know the right directions. And this is what a coach has to do. Be with the client and be available when it's necessary, and retire when you see the client is doing his own steps. It's like a little child that's learning to walk. First of all, it tries to get up and it bumps down. And this happens a lot of times. And we have to remember that children do not walk immediately. They do not decide, now I walk. They learn it and they work hard. And They never give up because there's one day when they walk alone. They need no help, no support. They are on their two legs and walk. And this is what a client should do in the end of the process. And so as a coach, we have to support them like we do with a child. Lend them a hand when it's needed and demanded, and get back and retire from the process when it's possible that the person is walking alone.
If the coachee is willing to do this, yes, it works. But we every day through our coaching, through our job coaching and language coaching and so on, we have people are not willing to go through this process because they have failed in your life. They are maybe 3, 5, 4, or 6 years and stand alone, and it's not so easy. The people have to be accept the situation and know what they have to do, and the willingness to go out. And this is the reason. This is our experience to help these people to go out through this process.
Yes, and it's our duty to encourage these people as long as possible. Sometimes the time is too short to do so. And sometimes it's very easy because it's only one sentence. Maybe I had a client and I found out he was born in, Puerto Rico. And he grew up speaking English and Spanish. And as one of his parents was German, he talked German too. But in the coaching and applying process for a job, he was told nobody is interested in that you know 3 languages from the start of your life. And I encouraged him and said, yes, we are interested. People are interested. Employers are interested. So please go ahead and change your CV and put these 3 languages into it because it's important. It's skills you have and they shouldn't be neglected any longer. And it's good that you know and you shouldn't forget. And he was so down and I encouraged him, and in the meantime, he's quite happy when he's working with me. This was an easy one, and I know what you are talking about. These are the hard ones for us, where we seem to be desperate, where we think, oh my God, why am I doing this job? But finally, we never should give up. Even in this case, we have to do our own Lisa. We have to encourage ourselves to go ahead and to live the encouragement, to live that we can go with the people, to live that we want to change that world. May you give a few short words before we end?
I think Lisa method is the first thing. Listen, 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 listen. Don't act. Do not action before you listen. And so if you do the wrong thing, stop, go back to the first step in process and listen again. I think listen is the mighty step in this process. Listen with the right ear and listen with the heart, not only with the brain and with the heart.
Yes. Thank you for your last words. Dear listeners, join me, Christa Nehls, next week on the TellUS radio show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.